Hello, I'm Nataliya Portman, a senior data scientist at Cineplex Digital Media. It has been an exciting and challenging experience working with clients in the digital out-of-home advertising industry. And today I'm excited to present you with recommendation systems for digital out-of-home advertising. Before we jump in, let me tell you a bit about the CDM. CDM is an industry-leading innovator in digital signage, creating an impact and new possibilities for brands through a unique digital customer experience. CDM has over 20 years of experience promoting services and products of top global brands. What really attracted me about digital signage is the complexity of business problems that require data-driven solutions and that are hard to define using traditional statistical frameworks. As you can see, we have a big agenda with lots of valuable content to go through in the next 30 minutes, so let's jump right into it. Let's start with the digital out-of-home example that conveys a powerful societal message to stop women's domestic abuse. The interactive billboard uses innovative anonymous video analytics and gaze tracking technology to detect when people stop and look at the screen. When they do, the woman's face begins to heal and bruising disappears. The more people look, the more woman's face returns to a healthy state. This is a multiple award-winning campaign which shows how we can all make a difference in the fight against domestic violence. Digital out-of-home advertising is an effective way to communicate to a massive audience. To give you an idea of the scale of out-of-home space, it would take over 2.2 billion smartphones to cover it entirely, according to Geopath estimates. In the US, out-of-home units have a weekly delivery of over 100 billion impressions. Out-of-home captures the attention of people while they shop. It's a billion-dollar industry that is recovering from the pandemic. Out-of-home advertising is up 38% in Q2. In the United Kingdom, every dollar spent on DOOH advertising returns an average of $5.97 in product sales. We are interested in dynamic digital out-of-home since it delivers 48% higher success rate as opposed to traditional out-of-home campaigns using static images. Digital screens with dynamic content can capture passing or static audiences. They react to these physical surroundings. They change messaging depending on time of the day and weather conditions. This is made possible due to the integration with anonymous video analytics, mobile location analytics sensors, and geographic location data. There are industry-specific and common challenges running a digital out-of-home campaign. In retail industry, although programmatic OOH gives an effective way for branches to launch and execute marketing campaigns, it requires a human insight to monitor the performance and to adjust ad content or a distribution plan when needed. In QSR and financial industries, content may not be relevant to the customer since it's typically pre-built and has a generic message. Content typically does not adapt to context. That can be the change in the audience or objects surrounding the screens. The goal of DOOH advertising is to reach a particular group of people with specific interests who will find advertising products or services useful. How do we identify potential customers among people who pass by those screens? They have different tastes, different preferences in life, work, and travel. The collected demographic data on audiences won't be sufficient to know if the content matches their interests. But we have a solution to these challenges. Our proprietary product known as Flex Smart Engine. Flex Smart Engine software is one-of-a-kind machine learning software for digital signage that handles these challenges by leveraging any customizable data sets like POS transactions or inventory, mobile location analytics, anonymous video analytics, weather, socioeconomic and psychographic, time of the day, local market characteristics, and loyalty member history. Another input to Flex Smart Engine is content that is either provided by the client or prepared by the CDM creative team. Flex Smart Engine is powered by machine learning that allows delivery of the most relevant content to customers in near real time. Measurements of ROI provides with an insight on content that is working and new types of content that are of potential interest in certain geographic locations. Flex Smart Engine software solutions are applicable to 3 industry verticals: quick service restaurants, financial institutions, and retail. In the following slides, I will focus on methodology that we have developed for ad recommendation. I will illustrate it on the example of financial ads, and I will show a Model Insights dashboard that serves the purpose of model validation. Suppose that our client is a financial institution that wants to promote its brand and to expand its customer base. The client has digital screens installed at more than 1,000 locations across Canada and wants to use data intelligence to serve ads to sites where they are best matched to client customer interests. You may wonder how the distribution of ads works behind the screens. Here is a simplified diagram that helps you understand the mechanics of ad distribution. Imagine that there is a content management system administrator who uploads ads to a server using our Flex platform. The uploaded content, along with location data, gets fed to Smart Engine application that would recommend correct media to play at each location. Then Flex Smart Engine application would further instruct content management system on the location-specific ads to play that would then be downloaded to their respective media players. Imagine further that the client has tasked us with ads to effectively manage small business accounts, to promote purchase of mortgage plans, to get customers engaged in investment in GICs, to save money on regular gas purchases, and to get customers enrolled in loyalty programs. How do we build a recommendation system that matches these ads to interested audiences? Or in other words, how do we build a personalized recommendation system? Personalization plays a significant role in consumers' online purchasing decisions. Modern product recommendation systems personalize a user's experience by leveraging on-site content, context, and users' profiles such as interests, social relationships, users' demographics, purchase data, web pages viewed, and prior site visits within just a single or few visits. Well-known recommendation systems such as Netflix and Spotify streaming services have been successful due to the collection of massive amounts of their user data, specifically product ratings. Netflix, for example, employs user-based collaborative filtering that makes suggestions based on user similar rating behavior. Digital out-of-home medium cannot adopt popular collaborative or content-based filtering methods, since the direct consumer response to ads on digital displays is impossible to collect in large amounts. And if we think of using computer vision technologies for collection of emotion recognition data, audience demographic, and dwell times, we may not find them useful for our business use case. Indeed, financial ads are emotionally neutral and mostly agnostic to gender and age. Let us approach this problem from a different perspective and think how we can model target audiences for financial ads. Firstly, having done research on each of the ad content, we have identified ads that offer a common benefit or a service, but communicate different aspects of it. It makes sense to categorize ads by the type of benefit or financial service. For example, Visa Infinite Cashback, ESSO Adapt, Gas Rewards credit card ads offer money-saving benefits to car owners. Therefore, we combine these ads to money-saving car owner category. All in all, we have got 5 categories: convenience small business, mortgage, investment GICs, money-saving car owners, and accounts loyalty programs. Each ad category or theme has its own audience. Indeed, small business owners will be interested in using convenience managing their banking accounts. Future homeowners will consider mortgage plan, or avid shoppers will take advantage of accounts loyalty programs. How do we represent interested audiences? We leverage Vividata consumer research database containing 4,400 behavioral characteristics of Canadians and Environics database providing demographic and socioeconomic data points. We select relevant variables that represent target audience for each ad category. Examples of such variables are features describing banking habits, such as online or mobile transactions, and preferred financial services, such as mortgages, credit cards, or investment. Also, we use data on life events or future plans of Canadians, such as financing a car, or retiring, or buying first home. We bring in current information on ad play schedule and its content description from our business knowledge database that we then categorize and tie to a relevant audience. We use client data on customer segments per location and target customer segment per ad. In digital out-of-home medium, personalized recommendations are addressed to a group of individuals and not to a single individual. There's typically more than one viewer looking at the screen at the same time, and during a day, the number of people who had the opportunity to see the ad can be on the order of 1,000. For phase 1, smart recommendation solution, we assume that viewers of financial ads are likely to reside in the proximity of financial institution locations. We represent these audiences geographically by a so-called forward sortation area, or FSA region. This allows us to use consumer research and client data for probabilistic modeling of the degree of interest in each ad theme. Let us consider, for example, convenience small business category of ads. First of all, how do we represent an interested audience in this theme? Using consumer research and client data. They must be individuals who have a business account at the client side and who typically use online or mobile method for their banking needs. We then may pose the following question. What is the probability that an individual from a specific FSA area has a business account registered at the client site located in that FSA area and does online or banking or mobile banking? This is how we have defined an and/or event. And using the statistics of these VV data and client features, we can calculate the probability of this event. And this probability is a measure of the degree of interest in convenient small business theme that varies by FSA and by client location. How do we leverage insights from our recommendation model to persuade the client that it does a proper job of recommending the content to locations where it's best matched to customer interests? Let us recall that we have 5 promotion categories to recommend. To answer this question, we have built a so-called Model Insights dashboard, a Power BI visualization tool that effectively communicates to the client the geographic distribution of interested audiences by FSA across Canada. In this demo, we will see how insights from the recommendation model can be used to show that it recommends relevant content to client customers. We will also see how they can assist in optimization of content distribution and future campaign planning. We start with the choice of promotion category from the drop-down list of category slicer. Let us select accounts loyalty programs. As a result, we will see audience percentage reach, informing the client that about 30% of overall digital screen network across Canada is used to reach customers interested in accounts loyalty programs. The color-coded geographic map shows the distribution of the degree of interest by FSA area. The color range varies from blue to red, with colors on the higher end of the range indicating a strong interest in the selected theme. Screen locations by FSA table lists all client locations, and if you want to see recommended ones, we simply choose true value for the recommended parameter, filtering the original list to locations where accounts loyalty programs are recommended. Simultaneously, the geographic color-coded map has been filtered to display geographic areas with high interest in the selected category. Alternatively, other FSAs with a low interest in the selected theme can be displayed. The contrasting colors shows a clear distinction between geographic areas of interest and no interest, and clearly shows that recommended ads are served to the right audiences. We can likewise find out about the geographic distribution of the interested audience for convenience small businesses. We note that the audience reach will be around 30% across Canada. We can simply set the value of the recommended parameter to true and CFSAs with the high interest. False value choice shows sites where SmartEngine will not recommend this category of ads, and therefore these ads will not be on the playlist at these sites. National Insights dashboard gives an insight into the popularity of promotional themes across Canada and by province. We see that mortgage is the most popular of all, as it is recommended at 557 out of 1,159 locations. This insight can be useful for planning advertising campaigns at the national level. It recommends the campaign theme to be placed on the national playlist across all of the screen network. In a similar manner, themes for province-wide campaigns can be determined by looking at the distribution of their popularity in the province of choice. Another potential use of this dashboard in the future is audience discovery. In the scenario when we have sites with no recommended promotions or so-called missed opportunities, we can determine the corresponding FSA region of the missed opportunity, such as S7P, for example. By bringing in historic records of previous campaigns launched by the client, we can gain insight into other interests in this region that haven't been captured with the current list of 15 ads. It is important to realize that this dashboard is the first step in model validation process that we believe is necessary for building and maintaining client trust in our novel SMARTENGINE recommendation product. The next step is attribution analysis, that is the measurement of DOOH campaign success metrics that I will touch upon in the next few slides. In this demo, another challenge comes with the implementation of the recommendation algorithm, where updates of the so-called library of ads are needed to account for newly created promotions provided to us by the clients. The library of ads contains the info about all past and current promotions and their respective categories and audiences described in terms of relevant VV data and demographic features. This is essentially a reference table for ads collected over time. Periodically, we will receive a new list of ads from the client where ads will be matched against their respective existing ad categories. The challenge here is to fully automate this update, since new ads may come with new keywords that may be hard to relate to existing themes using NLP-based classification methods. Another challenge arises from new ads that belong to an unknown category or a new theme. In this case, a human insight is needed for a new category creation and representation of its relevant audience. The library of ads is then manually updated. What will help fully automate the process is collaboration with the clients and building a data entry UI that will allow the client to tag a new ad with its relevant category. When this information becomes available in business knowledge database, there will be no need to run a semi-manual process of ad categorization, except for new unknown categories. We do hope that due to repetitive nature of financial ads, in the long run, there will be fewer new ad themes, and eventually we will converge to 100% automation. Another important question that I would like to raise is measurement of content performance. Having defined 5 ad themes according to our recommendation methodology for our business use case, how do we measure the performance of each piece of content? We have a unique challenge tracking the performance metric over a certain period of time, and that requires important information, important financial decisions, such as committing to a mortgage, for example. Responding to such ads fully would require planning and time investment on the customer side. For the long-term ROI measurement scenario, we have an option to gain an insight into the customer response before the customer makes the final decision. We can use qualitative survey-based research method that would allow us to collect data on ad recall and to understand what actions customers have taken after being exposed to an ad, to invest in GICs, or to take advantage of ads or ad promotion. Using surveys, we will be able to better understand customer demographics, preferred ad topics, memorable ad features, and how customers acted upon seeing these ads. When combined with the use of geofencing technology, service will be offered to individuals within the virtual boundary of ad display through a mobile app. In this way, data collection can be done without dependency on the client. The drawback of this method is that it relies on descriptive statistics and informs us about trends, but it doesn't provide with ROI estimates on each ad campaign. Another alternative is A/B testing approach that requires splitting of the client's location into test and control groups and monitoring certain KPIs of business interest in both groups over a specified period of time. KPIs do depend on that theme. For example, for accounts loyalty programs, we can monitor loyalty program enrollment numbers. And for mortgage or investment in GICs, we can collect data on appointment booking numbers. The advantage is that it's a rigorous statistical approach that estimates lift in a KPI of interest. And this lift is essentially a measure of ad content performance. However, in the end of our experiment that may last for 4 weeks, we may not see a real lift. And repeating this experiment cannot guarantee statistically significant findings. Since we haven't finalized our performance evaluation methodology yet, I would like to hear from some of you about your experiences evaluating content performance and to discuss possible solutions in Q&A session. In this presentation, we have learned that though campaigns leverage innovative anonymous video analytics, mobile location analytics, and programmatic technologies to deliver dynamic hyperlocal messages and to entice potential customers for brands. This is a data-rich industry with a wide range of opportunities for novel data science and business intelligence applications. One of the CDM products is Flex Smart Engine software, designed for continuous content optimization. It directs Flex CMS to play ads only relevant to each geographic location, depending on the time of the day, weather, and audience demographics. Flex Smart Engine for financial ads uses and progressively builds data intelligence on target audiences specific to ad themes. This enables probabilistic modeling of an interest in ad content. Flex Smart Engine employs the recommendation algorithm that finds the most probable geographic distribution of interested audience per ad theme. The drawback is that it's static during the campaign flight, and it doesn't adapt to changes in audience preferences of ad themes. The plan is to proceed with phases 2 and 3 of this algorithm that will use insights from about trending financial themes from Google Analytics and about the immediate audience in front of the screens from MLA sensors. Phase 3 will provide a near real-time solution. Here are my two key takeaways from this presentation. When using well-known supervised machine learning methods is not an option, assuming that you know your target customer segments, you can formulate the content recommendation problem in probabilistic terms. For this purpose, you have to define what a successful event means from a business perspective. Is this the probability of conversion to a sale, or is this the probability that an individual is interested in the content or belongs to a target audience? And then you can think how to leverage customer data to model the probability of a successful event. Imagine that you have mobile or web trajectories of your targets. You can then evaluate the probability distribution of target locations and recommend content at sites that are frequently visited. While working on a long-term ROI evaluation methodology, it is important to build and maintain trust in your innovative product with the client. Using interactive data visualization tools, you can show that your recommendation model serves ads to locations where they are best matched to local customer interests. And CDM is actively hiring and looking for a manager of data science. If you like challenges and enjoy unlocking the potential of data, please feel free to reach out to Sasha, myself, Jessica, or Wes, and to learn more about this role. And Cineplex is growing and hiring for cloud data engineer and solutions architect and digital analytics analyst roles. Please check out Cineplex career website to learn and apply for this role. And thank you for your attention.